So states have a unique role in preserving the constitutional order. And it's important that individuals understand that all 18 attorneys general who have filed this action seek to stop a private individual accessing the private information of millions of Americans, their social security numbers, their tax information, their addresses. No one elected Elon Musk and his minions, and no one has allowed him to have access to this information. This is a violation of the separation of powers. The United States Congress, the United States Senate has the sole discretion in having the power of the purse, and not Elon Musk. He has basically violated the Administrative Procedure Act, and he has violated the privacy of millions of Americans. And it is up to us to prevent him from having access to that private information. And so we've come together because we believe in the Constitution and the rule of law, and we believe that no one is above the law. And we believe that there are individuals, obviously, who should be prevented from having access to this law. The Treasury Department is responsible for maintaining the privacy of our information. The Treasury Department is responsible, again, for protecting our rights and our privileges. No one elected Elon. He's not been subject to any vetting.
Well, folks, that was extremely rich, right? You got Letitia James once again on her soapbox, acting like Elon Musk Doge team is some kind of serious and pervasive threat to America itself, like it's some type of threat to humanity. This crazy lunatic of an attorney general wants you to believe that actually cutting government waste, cutting fraud, cutting abuse is equivalent to wiping out vital programs and services. It's nuts. It's a lie. And at the same time, she has the audacity to come out and tell us they basically she's some kind of superhero. Somehow she is allegedly, supposedly, the true defender of law. She keeps pushing, ladies and gentlemen, this same nonsense. Give me a break. An over-the-top performance like this might fool some. It may be exactly what these so-called woke Democrats want to hear, but we know better. The American people see right through this nonsense. And not only does the American people see through this nonsense, thank God the federal court, specifically the U.S. Supreme Court, sees through this nonsense, and they have just issued a ruling that has stopped Tish James cold. Welcome to today's program, my free-minded patriots. I have great news today pertaining to this seemingly never-ending saga of sweet Letitia James, the current, I'm not sure how long she's going to be the current so-called attorney general from the great state of New York. It keeps turning out that her relentless crusade against President Trump keeps hitting roadblocks. Now, this press conference that you just watched was back from January of this year. This basically took place very soon after President Trump assumed office. Letitia James has had basically this crusade that she continues by basically leading a coalition of, let's say, approximately 16 Democratic, aka woke Democratic states, trying to stop President Trump at every turn. The good news is, for the most part, President Trump is winning the vast majority of these so-called battles, especially the ones that are led by Tish James. And remember, folks, this is the same Letitia James that not only went after Donald Trump in what I consider de facto election interference, it was basically this part of this coalition of what I call woke radical Democrats, including the Biden administration, Letitia James, Fani Willis, Nathan Wade, all part of this conspiracy, if you will, to stop Trump. Thank God that they have failed. And of course, Donald Trump is winning seemingly at every turn. It turns out that Letitia James has lost, and that a U.S. district judge, the name of the judge, Jeanette Vargas, ruled that Elon Musk-backed team, aka Doge, can move forward, noting that the Trump administration created proper procedures to train staff and to ensure private data remains secure. In other words, common sense won, ladies and gentlemen. And in this article, we're going to look and see how the American people won today. Today's article is published at WAPT.com. The Trump administration's Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge, can access sensitive Treasury data systems that control trillions of dollars of payments and contain private information for millions of Americans. A federal judge ruled Tuesday. U.S. District Judge Jeanette Vargas said in her ruling that she was clearing the way for the Elon Musk-backed team at the Treasury to access these systems because the Trump administration has created a process to train the Doge staffers and prevent improper disclosures of private data. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this never was to do with protecting our so-called private data. This had everything to do with protecting the woke agenda, with protecting the political establishment, aka the Biden administration and their woke agenda. And the truth is, this is actually what terrifies them. When a patriot like Elon Musk gets behind a transparency movement where he is literally trying to expose fraud, waste, and abuse, and you have people standing against this, this shows us what this is all about. The swamp starts to panic. And the reason for this is because this is where and when their dirty secrets are coming to light. A coalition of 19 states, along with Democratic attorney generals, filed the lawsuit earlier this year to block Doge from accessing the payment systems. The Democratic states did not oppose the Doge team at Treasury accessing the systems as long as they received proper training, Vargas noted. Thank God for this judge. Thank God for judges, ladies and gentlemen, that respect our Constitution. She made it clear Trump's team followed procedure. They are not looking to break the law. They're looking to clean up the system. The parties are in agreement that the new Doge employees should be permitted to have access to the Bureau of Fiscal Services payment systems, Vargas wrote Tuesday. CNN has reached out to the Treasury Department for comment. Back in February, Vargas blocked Doge from accessing the Treasury Department's payment systems, finding that the Trump administration acted in a, quote, chaotic and haphazard way and failed to, quote, adequately consider the privacy and security risk, letting Musk teams touch the data. Of course, back in February, end of January, beginning of February, that's when we've seen Letitia James give this smug press conference we just watched, where basically she was announcing she's going after Donald Trump and his administration, aka Elon Musk, and the folks over at Doge. Her order on Tuesday eliminates many of the restrictions that she initially opposed. She had already eased some of the limitations before Tuesday's order. In her 8-page ruling, Vargas said the Trump administration would not need to get her permission if any additional Doge staffers wanted to access the data as long as they undergo training. Because, quote, there is little utility in having this court function as Treasury's de facto human services officer each time a new team member is onboarded. Basically, the judge is saying, hey, don't come back here every time they have a new employee. As long as the Trump administration makes sure that these individuals are proper trained, they can go ahead and give them access to the data. Doge staffers tried earlier this year to use the Treasury payment systems to shut down spending for programs they didn't believe could or should be funded, CNN previously reported. New York Attorney General, sweet Letitia James, a noted Trump critic, that's to put it mildly, right, led the Democratic coalition behind the lawsuit and previously called Doge's actions a, quote, illegal power grab, end quote. James and the other Democratic officials previously said their lawsuit was necessary to stop Musk and his allies from withholding federal funds for essential programs like Social Security and Medicaid. Just complete nonsense from sweet Letitia James. And of course, that was from WAPT.com. I want to be clear about something. This had nothing to do with protecting Americans. All that Letitia James and the people that enable her were trying to do was simply control you and try to control me. This was all about silencing individuals like President Trump, Elon Musk, the folks over at Doge that demanded accountability. This was all about keeping the truth hidden. And thank God she failed. And as far as Elon Musk, either Letitia James is lying to each and every one of us and continues to lie to us, or frankly, folks, she doesn't understand the Constitution. She does not understand law. And frankly, I'm not sure which one is actually worse. Elon Musk was a special government employee at that time, brought under the authority of the President of the United States, aka Donald Trump, who, by the way, won in an election landslide in the Electoral College. This victory gave him a mandate from the American people. Elon Musk was not just some rich guy poking around trying to be nosy and get our data. He was actually acting under the authority and under permission given to him by the President of the United States, President Donald Trump. He was following Donald Trump's order to clean up waste, fraud, and abuse. Period. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is constitutional. It is legal. It is needed. It is proper. And I applaud Elon Musk and the folks over at Doge for the work they have done to date. And folks, make no mistake about it. The woke Democrats, these corrupt Democrats, they are very, very scared because they know sooner or later more and more light is going to be shown on the malfeasance that these individuals have committed and are continuing to engage in. And clearly, Doge, sooner or later, is going to find something that really stinks. This is not just lying. It's not just wrong. They are gaslighting us on an institutional level. Elon Musk was not freelancing. He was acting for the American people at the behest of the President of the United States. And this, of course, is exactly what Americans voted for. I'm going to stay on this story. I'm going to be all over sweet Letitia James like stink on you know what. I will continue to call out this corrupt machine that she continues to embody because her vision for America is all about DEI. It's all about equity. And this, my friends, must never take root. I want to take a moment and thank everyone for being here today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for returning. It's always a pleasure to have an opportunity to talk with each and every one of you. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with the comments that I have made today? Also, my contact information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Until next time, my friends, may the Holy Spirit be with each and every one of you. I always say, my friends, keep that mind free, never give up. And until next time, I am J.R. Dukes.